Meanwhile, the people feeling the impacts of this decision, the parents and teachers, say this was not the response they wanted to hear from their district. The Executive Board of Killeen Educators Association says it's disappointing to see nearby communities completely shut down, but Killeen schools want to be back to normal by Monday. They have a number of questions about how the district plans to enforce social distancing and what the district's plan is if someone were to test positive. The president of the association is pointing to the CDC, who says they won't know the peak of COVID-19 until May 1st.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to us to have the district rush back without fully understanding the impact of this.
This is a time for calm concern. It is a time for deliberation and a time for caution. It is a time for families and employees to make thoughtful decisions about balancing their jobs and their health.
Feedback that I've received from literally hundreds of people says overwhelmingly that pushing for a return to normalcy and announcing reopening dates just adds stress to their lives. They're not worried about a bond election or getting back to normal because they know our lives now aren't normal. They don't want to have to make a decision on whether to expose themselves or their children to an environment that's already virulent to begin with, but even more so with COVID. Now, fortunately, the solution is simple and it uses words. The governor extended our closure to May 4th, but all you need to do is say that Killeen ISD will remain closed until health officials say it is safe to return. And that's it. No dates, no push to normalcy when everyone knows it's not normal. One simple sentence can tell everyone that KISD is doing the most important thing to stop the spread of this disease: stay home. And KEA, along with TSTA and NEA, is already beginning work towards getting the state and federal governments to eliminate any potential issues, funding or otherwise, that may arise with such a decision. So, over 1,000 citizens and I ask you now to do as you did with pay and benefits and do the right thing. Keep KISD closed. Thank you.
The statistics I quoted today in my speech came from two sources. One was a Kaiser Family Foundation study on what they did was studied and found out who would not have been eligible for the ACA, aka Obamacare, for those who understand the nickname. But if they were not eligible for that, they're pretty much essentially guaranteed to be in a vulnerable category for contracting COVID. So, and in Texas, that percentage of people that are not eligible for the ACA due to pre-existing medical conditions, not counting the elderly, mind you, this is less than 59, I think it was, is 28%. So, you know, that could roughly go across the board. Killeen area could actually be a little higher because of the large percentage of retirees that we get from the military that are here. Folks that have medical issues, that are on disability from their service. And so these are folks that are more vulnerable. And so as such, 28% of the population of Killeen, which is sitting at about 141,000 right now, 149,000, is about 41,000 people that are at risk to catch COVID.
How do you think this social distancing phenomenon will affect America, affect students, affect teachers in the future? Just give us an honest response.
I am hopeful. I am hopeful that a lot of the habits that we have allowed ourselves to drift into, where we are negative and toxic towards each other, that we will start to look past those. I am hopeful that when we get to finally see each other in person, that we will cherish that more than we have lately. I am hopeful that we will learn from what we are experiencing here and use it to model our future behavior once this crisis passes. And I am hopeful that it will bring us together as a society, as a community, as educators, as students, as parents, and that we will be more aware of each other's needs and how how we can work to get along.